That question is so loaded, John. I don't even know where to start with that. I guess the problem is, and by the way, John, I love that question.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. This is an interesting topic.
What's the solution here?
Show up, understand your part, and just crush it.
Pay-per-click, social media, we can talk about all this stuff, but what really matters is patient experience, that wow factor.
Please, are you listening to yourself? Come on.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. So sit back, take notes, and listen.
Oh, I love this. This is going to be fun.
Startup Uncensored. The questions you have with the truths you need to hear. And now your hosts, Michael Dinsio and John Bertagni.
All right. Welcome. Thank you all for jumping in and joining us today. I'm here with my friend and partner, Jonathan Bertagni. I will never call you Jonathan again, I promise.
Good idea, since that's not my name.
All right, John. Oh, it's not? I thought it was.
No.
Jonathan. It's, well, don't ever call me Michael. But I'm super excited about this program. We've been planning it for months now, and the premise of this program is really to walk through a startup from start to finish. Episodes 0 to mid-20s, 25, 30. I'm not sure how many we're going to go, but thank you all for subscribing and being here with us. Remember, you can watch this stuff live on YouTube. We would love for you to join Facebook and follow us on Facebook and join our private group. John and I will be interactive on that group and really help any of you looking to do a startup. We'll help you anyway. And you really do have access to all of the folks that we're going to be interviewing. All of those folks are going to be a part of that. So, John, thanks.
Yeah, that's the important thing. It's not just us. It's a true team of experts, and that's what we're going to bring to the table. So, we're excited.
It's super exciting. So again, what we really wanted to do in this program, and being this is episode 0, we want to just walk you through what we have stored, what we have planned for, and really why we're doing it. John, why do you think this is needed in our industry?
Yeah, I think we're calling it the why, right? And unfortunately, people go through this blind, and they're given information, and really it's almost falsehoods more than it's or self-serving suggestions from people. What we want to try and do is give our listeners and partners in this really a true mindset of doing a process of building a dental practice the right way the first time, and not spending frivolous money and finding the right partners. And that's what this is about. And really, I'm almost going to say it, giving back. Mike, hell, we've been collectively between the two of us, we've done probably 700 dental practices in some form and fashion.
At least.
When we bring in our partners, we're talking tens of thousands of dental practices that these individuals have been a part of. So when you get an amalgamation of people like that are really willing to give information on their own accord, and here's the thing, most people are not even going to touch you guys in the future. You're going to listen to them and what they're saying, and you're going to be able to take that, to your project. So that's my why. Right? I want to get back in my, too, Mike, I've got family members. I've got family members that are dentists. I mean, that's the whole piece. Like, there's empathy, man.
Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more. When I was a banker and I just got into this industry, my big thing was I'd lend people money, right? I'd give them $700,000, $600,000, $500,000. And what was always mind-blowing to me is that no matter how much I gave that startup, they would always spend that amount. We talk about this all the time.
Maybe $1 less.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, if I were to give a GP back in those days $700,000, including TI allowances, right? The whole total budget was $7, and then I gave another GP $500 in the exact same time frame, in the exact same city, exact same players, contractors, equipment people, architects, marketing people, just jam them all in there, right? Amazingly, this guy spent $500 and this guy spent $7. Now, how did that happen? Yeah. It's mind blowing, and that's really why we have this hashtag truth right here, right? Get the right hashtag truth, because we want to deliver the truth here. We want to help people navigate this, because unfortunately, the industry, as much as it's been great to me and you, John, the industry. There are some folks out there that you do got to watch out for. I hate to say it. There's a lot of amazing people, but and we were part of that. No, and that's the piece of this that I think we both wanted to do. And you said this has been planning for 2-3 months, but our relationship and wanting to really fix some of the nuances of this has been going on for years. So that's ultimately what we wanted to do was. This is not about letting you know how much things cost or, how to negotiate strongly, with a landlord. This is more so about finding out the best foundation to build your practice. That's what this is about. And have confidence in it. That's my mind, right? Like, have confidence in your decision. Unfortunately, and Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, and viewers, when you guys come, and listeners, when you guys respond to us on Facebook and whatever outlet it is, you tell us this, but our understanding is there's no business acumen that's being presented to you in school. And that's unfortunate. So let's just call this like business 101 for starting a dental practice. That's how cool. Let's do that. What the hell? I don't care. Well, let's get into our backgrounds a little bit. Why should these people even listen to us, right? Why do these doctors even care about? They don't even know who I am, Michael Dinsio. What's that? Well, and I would like to tell from my standpoint, you're a banker, man. A banker at heart, but you're numbers driven. You're KPI driven. You really try and look at the microfinite details of what it means to open up a dental practice, and almost from an underwriting standpoint, which is really cool, right? All these listeners and partners in this are going to have to go through an underwriting process of a bank. So that, but every step of this process, which is cool because you've had to deal with architects, you've had to deal with paying out contractors, you've had to deal with understanding budgets. But now your world of consulting, right, and really hip-to-hip consulting, that's a whole different game, because after you put the shingle up and people are starting to come in butts in the seat, now you're helping them understand what that looks like. So build that foundation, understand the numbers, boom, you're set up for success. I always said that the numbers would tell a story, right? So you could look at the numbers, but if you don't know what's going on in the practice that drive the numbers, you're not seeing the whole thing. And when I was a banker, I would just look at the numbers, and you can get that perspective. There's hundreds of bankers out there. The question is what are your people doing, or what are you doing to drive those numbers? And I didn't see that until I became a consultant. So now as a consultant, I'm seeing that whole picture, and I love it. But you're right, John. 7 years of doing all of those startups, seeing the contractor, seeing the architect, so everybody that plays into what a startup. I've seen the best practices, and I know that. Now
you've also seen the worst practices. You've also seen the worst practices.
You're right. You're 1,000% right. In fact, those ones are ringing very true in my head, because there aren't that many. There really aren't that many that failed, but I know exactly what they did. And so, there is a playbook, and I have seen folks that really thrived quickly right out of the gate. and I've seen ones that kind of did the average, and I see the ones that fell quickly. And you start scatter plotting that. But back to you. Let's quit talking about me.
No, let's talk about me. I mean, please.
Well, okay. Well, so why I brought you on as my partner? I mean, we've been friends for 8 years ish, maybe close to 10 years. And when I was a banker, I met you, and I was actually trying to win your business back then. You owned 2 practices with a small DSO group, and your goal was to build this business up, right? And so
correct.
I think from when I met you, you were building that office. I remember walking, I always say this, I love this story because I was lending money in Colorado then, and I was very in tune with budgets and how much construction was and how much equipment was, and just really dialed in, right, in that particular market at that time. I walk into your office and I'm like, John, holy crap, this place looks really, really freaking good. How much did you spend? Like, wow, Right. And I remember you said like 400 or 350,000. And I'm like, okay, now I got to get my book out. So now I'm taking notes because I'm like, how does this guy, this is really interesting to me. How does this guy build this office for $400,000 or whatever it was, when the rest of my clients at the time were spending almost a third more, and that's when it really started coming. So give me your background on why.
Yeah. So I mean, and I remember that date completely. The lights were dim. It was prior to opening, like all that kind of stuff. I totally remember all that, and that was a great day. So I mean, I come from a dental family. Dads, cousins, great aunts, uncles. Crazy amount of dentistry in my past. Worked for distributors. Worked for dental manufacturers, worked for, a startup type of a distribution company. So I started a distribution company focused on building dental practices. So kind of an all-in-one solution. As Mike, you alluded to, I owned some dental practices with some really smart individuals, that some industry experts, and then some dentists. And I even got into, business brokerage, so selling practices, which is going to be our next phase of our whole piece, which is, buying a dental practice. Season two, buying dental practices and selling them down the road. So, it is a unique background. But, I think all of that is giving me this acumen, and you brought it up. It is empirical data. It's numbers. That's what it's driven by numbers and making the right steps, right, man? Mm-hmm. Like that's what we're trying to do, and get you out of the scientific method that these dentists are used to in terms of treatment planning. But same thing, we're treatment planning for success of a dental practice. So let's follow these steps. Let's incorporate a great oral surgeon, a great prosthodontist, a great endodontist. And in this case, guess what it is? It's a great contractor. It's a great distributor rep. It's a great, architect. It's someone that's going to be able to set up your fee schedules. Boom. We're setting up your essentially your referral network.
That's right. It's actually perfect. I wanted to get into all of the topics that we were really going to cover from start to finish. And I'm right there with you. The folks that we have lined up for this program that are participating. It is insane. We got some of the biggest players in the industry, and that's a hat off to you, John, and your reputation, and just things that I've done, and both of ours really, and we've got Malad Kral, the DDS that just absolutely gets it. His vision is impeccable. That's going to be episode 1. It really does start with vision. Then we're going to take it to demographics, real estate, banking, construction, architecture, equipment, legal, digital marketing, HR, credentialing, billing, new patient experience, which is going to be one of my favorites.
That's my favorite too. I can't wait for that one.
It's going to be so good. Accounting, financial arrangements. We got it all covered.
Even a financial advisor. Let's think about that. The financial advisor. You open you open your doors, money starts flowing in. What are you doing with that money? How are you planning? And not only that, working with that tax advisor alongside that financial advisor to understand how it implicates your practice. Like, that's what we want to do. That's exactly smart planning. That's smart foundational planning for a dental practice.
That's right.
And by the way, Mike, this is what you do in a way, right? In some form and fashion, but in this case, we're bringing some, studs and studettes to this, this program. And right now we're kind of being serious, and I'm actually sorry for that. I want this, this is going to be fun. I mean, am I right? Like,
well, it is fun because I'm pretty passionate, and we always say we use passion words every once in a while, and I'm going to apologize for that right now. There could be some profanities. Our producers, we really need to probably put some kind of warning, profanities potentially. Right. But at the end of the day, right? Like we love what we do. I'm the founder of Next Level Consultants. I do help doctors from start to finish, but the people that we have in play have crazy amount of knowledge that they can really bring to the table, and I want to tap into that, and that's what this is all about, is really giving back. I may never get a client out of this. John, you work for Belmont today as one of the best manufacturers in the country. You may not get any business either. That's not what this was about. This was about 100%. Us bringing what we know here and delivering it. And honestly, that's all this was about. And COVID, let's just say it. Let's put a timestamp on this podcast. COVID really threw a wrench in this. This was going to be a live event. We decided to go podcast. So,
and actually, I'm happy. Now we can build the viewership, which is actually growing. I mean, we haven't even started, and we have some followers, which is just amazing. And they're not my kids. I mean, these are real people. So like that's kind of fun that we're already growing this. So, our hope is to bring these communities together, not only the dentists, but also these contributors. And they're actually really excited about it because one of the things that we talked about, and we're going to talk about this further in terms of that construction piece, just to give a little look under the hood, it's bringing people to the table early to plan your vision. I think that's ultimately what we want to do. And so this collaboration that we're bringing, man, you guys are your friends, and we're going to call them my buddies or my dentist buddies.
I got that.
My dentist.
Oh,
buddy.
You got it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So like these are hats for the people listening. We're going to put on our my buddy hat, dentist buddy hat. But what that means is, people get information. Right? They get the information from my dentist buddy. You know what? We hope that you're going to be able to grab that information from us and our contributors and be like, hey, I got this information from Mike, or I got this information from John or Mladen or Grace Yum or whoever it might be. That's the information, man. That's power. So,
John, why do you think this is going to be different? I was listening to some podcasts this week. Why do you think our podcast is going to be different? First of all, I'm not bashing anybody.
Well, I thought you were just asking me a question, but I thought you were asking me a question.
Then I answer it?
Then you were answering your own question.
That's going to happen. That's going to happen like every episode, at least once.
Totally.
Do you want me to ask and then answer it, or you want?
Or maybe I should answer it. All right. Honestly, because I think you brought it up earlier, right? It's because this is not self-serving. It's literally not self-serving. This is just informational. Unfortunately, there are podcasts, and by the way, they're all great because people do get information, but there's always an underlying theme of that information that you're trying to get something out of it. That's what I feel. Like this is really giving a look under the hood or giving someone a flashlight to walk down that path at night. That's, because these guys are going into a dark, scary forest. I mean, honestly, man, even I thought I had a lot of the answers, and my partners, we thought we had a lot of the answers. And I said, really smart people, man, we screwed up on many, many occasions. Maybe not only in partnership, but also in form and function of the business. So, that's what I want this to be. I think it's what's going to be different is it's not self-serving. We're really doing something, and we're going to have interaction with our people through our Facebook, so follow us, ask us questions, man. That's going to be the differentiator. What are your thoughts, man?
I love that.
Or did I just nail it?
You nailed it. You nailed it. I mean, as always, you nailed it. But I think the other piece to that is there's, like you said, there's tons of great podcasts out there. But our goal is to really be, I wouldn't say pulling back the curtain, but kind of. We're going to put some of these people on a hot seat. We're going to bring contractors and say, what's the freaking story about change orders? What's the freaking story about you, designer, trying to design the Picasso of dental offices? Like, we're going to bring in equipment people and say, dude, what's up with you guys just showing ADEC every single time? Like, or Sirona or some of these big names. Like,
or the tour. Start with the tour, right? That's the we can do a tour at some point in time, but man, it's about listening and building the treatment plan.
That's right. I guess I really want everybody to understand that we're going to come at you. It's called Uncensored for a reason. We're going to come at these guests in a fun way. They're friends, but they're also experts within their industry, and we've picked them specifically for their names and reputation, but also because we can go at them and we have that rapport with them.
And that hashtag truth, right? They are going to be truthful, which is cool. Mm-hmm. Like they're going to say, man, tons of curved walls, be careful. That's going to add some, you're going to lose spatial dimension and it's going to cost money. So that's what we want. These contributors are going to just crush it for you guys. And should you choose any of them, or should you choose to go to one of these geographical areas that we have for our real estate experts that are a part of the deal, that's awesome. But they're going to give you insight into their areas and their process.
That's right. Our audience is going to have so many connection points. We got Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We've got all the podcast channels that's probably
Spotify,
your favorite
Apple,
one out there, all of them. Yeah. And so I know that I can't serve thousands of people in the country, but my hope is that this program, this platform serves you all. If none of you hired a consultant, great. If you could use this platform and picked up some little golden nuggets and you were better for it and you were more profitable for it and you could serve your communities better, help your patients better, provide for your families better, we win. That's all this is about. So I'm super excited.
Yeah. Well, and you brought up a great point there. A lot of the contributors that came onto this, and we didn't know what this was going to become, right, Mike? But they all were excited about giving to this community without anything in return. That's what's super cool. And the other piece was that they are going to be able to, provide insight. Most of them said if they could listen to a program like this and then sit down with them, they would be as happy as can be, because they don't have to explain things to a level that, might cause, fogginess or deer in the headlights, right? I mean, you remember a lot of them said that, like, oh my God, if they can come to us with that information ahead of time, or at least the knowledge, maybe they don't digest it completely, but at least the knowledge of it, they were super excited about that. So yeah.
Well, listen, episode 0 is exactly what it's supposed to be, giving you the framework, the big grandiose vision for this program. We really hope that you subscribe. Click that subscribe button. Look up Startup Uncensored on Facebook. Follow us. We'll be leaking each episode out. We'll probably be getting some discounts and kind of some giveaways through that with all of the speakers that we're going to interview. There's just going to be a lot of value.
By the way. Yeah. Which was cool. A lot of them actually were like, hey, we would like to make some sort of special contribution to our, membership and followers. I think that's, we didn't ask for it, but that's kind of what this has become. It's really evolved into something about, a community, which is amazing.
We kind of did ask for it, though, didn't we? We kind of did.
Maybe.
A little bit.
Yeah. No threats.
Strong suggestion.
It's not a Chicago threat. It's not a Chicago Italian threat. But,
give our subscribers something, or you're out. No, I'm joking. But, yeah, we're super excited. I think there's going to be a lot of value here. So, bottom line, subscribe, follow us. Any last words, John, before we shut this down and get episode 1 going?
No, I'm just looking forward to episode 1, which, as we talked about, is Mladen Krall, an amazing dental visionary that has strong foundational background from one of the largest DSOs in the country. But 15, 20 years ago, he departed that and actually built something that is an absolute monster. It's a contained business, but it's just he built a vision, stayed true to that vision throughout his entire career. And really, it's about marketing to that and then building the form and function in terms of equipment, patient experience, and staying true to that. And I think all of you are going to be blown away with not only how approachable this guy is, but just his passion for giving back to others, his community, and his company. So super excited about episode number 1.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool, and we got lots of dentists actually contributing. Grace Young, Mladen, we got an awesome crew.
Mike Unthink, who's a dentist, who's an architect. I mean, come on,
phenomenal dude. That's right.
Yep.
That's exactly right. So, bottom line, subscribe, meet us on those platforms, and we promise to bring you some good information. So. Thanks again for jumping in, and we'll see you next episode.
Mike, great seeing you. Bye.